I laughed at first, not because it was funny, but because my mind refused to accept the sentence as real. Yesterday? I repeated, still smiling, still waiting for her to correct herself. You mean you registered or something? The wedding is later, right? She didn't smile back. She sat across from me at my dining table, hands folded neatly in her lap, eyes lowered. Her voice was calm, too calm. No, she said softly. We got married yesterday. The room felt suddenly smaller. I turned toward my son, expecting him to laugh it off, to tell me this was some misunderstanding. He avoided my eyes. He stared at the floor like a child caught stealing. That's when the unease began. Not anger, not sadness, fear. Because parents know when something is wrong, not loud wrong, but quiet wrong, the kind that hides behind polite words and lowered voices. You didn't tell us? I asked. Your own parents? My son finally looked up. His smile was thin, rehearsed. It just happened quickly, he said. We didn't want a big deal. A wedding without family, without witnesses, without a single phone call. Nothing about it made sense, but I nodded anyway, because that's what I'd always done, trusted him. They left shortly after, claiming they had plans. The door closed behind them with a soft click, and the silence that followed felt heavy, unnatural. My husband spoke first. Something's off. I nodded. Very off. That night, sleep wouldn't come. I kept replaying her voice in my head. We got married yesterday. No excitement, no joy, just finality. At 2:17 a.m., I sat up in bed, heart pounding for no clear reason. That's when my phone vibrated. An unknown number. Please don't tell anyone yet. No name, no explanation, just that. I stared at the screen, my fingers trembling. Tell anyone about what? The next morning, I drove past my son's apartment. I told myself it was coincidence, curiosity, nothing more. Their car wasn't there. The curtains were drawn. The place looked abandoned. When I called my son, it went straight to voicemail. So I called her. She answered on the third ring. Yes? Her voice was quiet, strained. Everything okay? I asked. You sound tired. A pause. Yes, she said. Just busy. Busy doing what? I wanted to ask. Instead, I said, we should celebrate soon, even if it was sudden. A small dinner, maybe. Another pause. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. Please don't. Not now, not later, just don't. 3 days passed. No calls, no visits, no photos, no announcements, no joy. Then on the 4th day, my son finally called. Mom, he said quickly, like he wanted to get it over with. We're traveling for a bit. Phones might be off. Where? I asked. Another pause. Out of town. I pressed my lips together. When will you be back? I don't know. That was the moment I realized something terrifying. This wasn't about marriage. This was about disappearance. I decided to visit her parents. They lived 2 hours away. We'd met only once before, briefly, but desperation makes strangers familiar. When I introduced myself, her mother's face drained of color. You didn't know? She whispered. Know what? She glanced behind her, then stepped outside, pulling the door shut behind us. They came here 2 nights ago, she said. At midnight, took some documents, clothes. They were shaking. Why? I asked. Her eyes filled with tears. She said they were running out of time. Running from what? Or who? That evening, as I drove home, my phone vibrated again. Unknown number. They're watching. Please stop asking questions. I pulled over, my hands numb. Watching who? As soon as I got home, I went straight to my son's old room, the one we never changed. I don't know what I was looking for. Answers, maybe, or proof that I was losing my mind. In the bottom drawer of his desk, beneath old notebooks, I found a small envelope. Inside was a flash drive. No label, no explanation, just hidden. I waited until midnight to plug it into my laptop. The first video loaded automatically. It was my son, but not the one I knew. He looked thinner. His eyes darted constantly, like someone expecting a knock at the door. "If anyone is watching this," he said quietly, "it means we didn't make it." My breath caught. "We didn't marry because we were in love," he continued. "We married because it was the only way to protect her." The screen flickered. There are people who want her silent. What she knows could ruin lives, powerful lives. I leaned closer to the screen, heart racing. She tried to leave once. They followed her, threatened us. Marriage was supposed to give her legal protection, visibility, a paper trail. He laughed bitterly. It didn't work. The second video showed her. She was crying. "They said they would make it look like an accident," she whispered. "If I talked, if we didn't disappear." I slammed the laptop shut, shaking. This wasn't paranoia. This was fear, real, justified, suffocating fear. And suddenly, the quiet wedding made sense. No invitations, no witnesses, no trail. The next morning, I went to the police. They listened politely, took notes, asked questions. Then they exchanged looks. "Ma'am," one officer said carefully, "without evidence of a crime, there's not much we can do." "What about the threats? The messages?" "Anonymous messages are difficult to trace." I left the station feeling smaller than I entered. That night, I received one final message. This time, it came with a photo, a blurred image of my front door, taken from outside. "This is your warning." I stopped sleeping. Every sound made me jump. Every passing car felt like surveillance. Then, a week later, an envelope arrived. No return address. Inside was a single photo. My son, alive, standing near a coastline I didn't recognize. On the back, written in shaky handwriting, "We're safe. Please forgive us." Relief flooded me, so powerful it hurt. But safety isn't permanent. It's borrowed. Months passed, no more messages, no more threats. The world moved on, but I didn't. Then one evening, the news broke. A massive corruption scandal, names exposed, lives ruined. At the center of it all, documents leaked anonymously. The truth. Her truth. I understood then. The marriage wasn't impulsive. It was a shield. And the silence wasn't betrayal. It was survival. A year later, my phone rang. A familiar voice said, softly, "Mom?" I cried. When I finally met them again, they looked different. Older, stronger, free. She smiled at me this time, a real smile. "I'm sorry, we couldn't tell you," she said. I took her hands. "I know," I said, and for the first time, I understood the weight of her words from that day. We got married yesterday, not as an announcement, but as a warning.